Hi, welcome to this video, and in this video we're going to be measuring the spiciness or the Scoville heat unit rating of this particular Nando's Peri-Peri salt, but I will do a quick run through the ingredients because it is important to kind of get an expectation on what the hotness of this actually will be by looking at the ingredients, because it's really it's not just a straight off chili powder. It's blended with sugars and salts, and I just want to kind of do a quick analysis on it. But then I will be using the Scoville Meter or the FoodSense Generation 4 to actually measure it. There's a picture of that device. I've both got it in front of me, and I'll be doing a live demonstration of it shortly. But there's also a photograph there, so you can kind of see it. What the Scoville heat unit does is it actually measures the Scoville heat unit of things like these chili. In this case is a sort of blend of chili salts. I've got the sample in front of me here, but I'll just run through both the preparation of the sample and also the running of the sample. But the first thing I did do is just have a look what's actually in this particular Nando's Peri-Peri salt, and there's red chili pepper in there, and there's African bird's eye chili pepper in there. But you do you do kind of, when you look at the ingredients, you realize then that these are kind of minority players in among all those other ingredients. So looking at the side of the bottle, we have 3.5 grams of fats, 25 grams of carbohydrates, 14 grams of protein, 53.6 grams of salt. So it's over 50% of this is, as you could appreciate, it is called Nando's Peri-Peri salt. So 50% of this and more is salt. The sum of all that is actually 96.1 grams. So the theoretical theoretical capsaicin that could be in here is no more than 3.9 grams, because it doesn't fall into the definition of a fat, salt, or a protein or a carbohydrate. But as it is, when you look into the ingredients a little bit more, you actually find out that there's something called the sort of spice mix in there. And the order of ingredients in that is there's paprika in there, there's red chili pepper. I can't really think what that actual Scoville heat unit of that is. It's a bit too ill defined. We've got white pepper in there. I presume pepper in places like the UK could mean things like something that contains piperin rather than capsaicin. And then we've got the African bird's eye chili powder, which may account for has a Scoville heat unit of 1 to 250,000, but it's very much a minority player in among all these other ingredients. So before running the test, I had to prepare the sample. So what I did do was I weighed out about, I wanted to weigh out 0.1 grams of the salt, but as it is, I weighed out 1.03 grams of the salt, because I basically knew that 1.03 versus 1.00 was 0.103 versus 0.100 would only give me about a 3% error, so I wasn't too concerned by that. Then I put it in. I gathered the powder, but I knew there was some powder left in the weighing boat, so I washed the rest of that powder in the weighing boat with the buffer. So I'm heading towards doing essentially a 1 in 10 dilution. So I actually washed the excess or the remaining powder in that weighing boat out of the weighing boat into a vial using that 0.9 milliliters. So approximately doing a 1 in 10 dilution of the sample. I then actually vortexed it. I do actually have a vortex in front of me. These things are only about, how much are they? They're about $100 on, I don't want to say Amazon, but wherever you get your lab supplies from. That one did come off the internet. That just vortexes and makes sure that we get essentially the sample into a suspension and we extract the capsaicin. So we did vortex it. Now I didn't centrifuge it, and I may in the future start centrifuging these things. The technique itself, the electrochemical technique that we use, doesn't require centrifugation, but it could make for a good practice to actually centrifuge it, but we didn't. And those centrifuges are not super expensive either. In terms of running the sample, I'm going to do is I'm going to take 50 microliters of the sample. So I might just change to a slightly different screen here. And I'm going to, actually I'll take one of these sensors. I'm just going to snap one out. I'll just put it into the meter. Whoops a daisy. I'll put it into the meter there. I will take 50 microliters of the sample. I shall put that on the sensor. All right, so the sample's on the sensor. Now I will hit go to assay on my phone. My dilution was, strictly speaking, I was looking for 0.1 grams, but I put 0.103 grams in there, but that doesn't matter too much. I was in 0.9 milliliters, so I'll just start the measurement. And then now what it's doing is actually running the assay. So it's running an electrochemical technique called voltammetry. This technology originally came from the University of Oxford, a guy called Richard Compton in the UK. It's really using technology that's more kind of often used actually in the medical space, where they want to do sort of rapid medical diagnostics, but here we just repurpose this to do rapid food ingredients testing. So it's just coming to the end now. The results about, and therefore my Scoville heat unit in this case is 2,791 Scoville heat units with a parts per million of 186.5, and at which point it's done. And we are done. I might just change screens just for a quick second and just talk about what actually happens. Now, the nice thing about the FoodSense Generation 4 is I run the sample, I get a rapid result, and actually the data then goes to a cloud system. So without you interfering, it just automatically saves everything in the cloud. So later on, if I need to know kind of who did the test, I can see that in the cloud. If I want to remember what the results were, I can see that in the cloud as well. And if I want to see the raw signal, because I want to kind of understand what my raw signal was, that's also in the cloud as well. So if you have any questions regarding the FoodSense Generation 4 and its ability to do rapid testing on products such as this, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Okay, thanks very much.